I think it's so simple. Like I thought about it yesterday. Actually, I haven't stopped thinking about it. When it's just kind of, I think all of this is really just built around awareness. Like it really is just being aware and being present, every day as much as you can. Because like if you think about it, like who can sit here on this call right now and tell me that they remember every detail of today? Probably not anybody, right? Like at some point you might have drifted, just because you were thinking about other things while doing other things, right? And there's a fine line between that and being aware of who you are. Like how often, this is crazy, like how often do you think about the person you are? Like almost never, right? Seriously, I mean, let's just be honest. Like you never really sit there and think about the kind of person you are, who you are, or what you're entitled to. So let's just take the two scenarios. So like obviously it's just human nature. We learn how to multitask. We do one thing and thinking about something else. We're not even gonna touch that because I think that's just not even like, no, it's not, it's unrealistic. It is because you're always gonna think. But what I think is very realistic is if we start consciously thinking about who we are as people, and mainly, that letter, like those goals, like whatever's on that paper is who you are. Think about that. And so when you're thinking about that, it's just almost like as simple as spelling out your last name. Like, you can spell it you can write it with your eyes closed. Your last name, your first name. It's effortless, right? Everything, each letter, complements each letter. So my whole point to what I'm trying to say is when you wrote on that letter, every decision you make in the physical has to complement that letter. And I mean, to the average person, they're thinking like, dude, that's a lot of work. Of course it is. But here's the crazy part. The thing that's so cool about it is you're always present. Like you're always present. So you think about the decisions. You see some people who bust their tail in the gym. I mean, they work hard, but the nutrition is off. So then, even it's not on the paper, but they have a passion to work out. Workout is a stress reliever for them, and they go all out and they do really well at it, right? But then they don't eat well. So then there's a conflict with their body. Like, you put me through all of this, yet you're not giving me the nutrition to sustain this or take us to another level. So then they end up they just end up strong but not really in great shape. Like, you work out, you ever look at people, say, man, you work out all the time, you should be in better shape than that. Come on, we've all done it, right? So it's like, okay, something's off. Well, that's what I'm talking about right there, of it being some form of a conflict. A person can be doing one thing right, but another thing maybe not as disciplined. Whereas to really make that shift, everything has to be on point. And it's a sacrifice. Like, it's a mental sacrifice because you're going to deal with emotional withdrawals from sugar, from carbs, from like the bad carbs, from the things that was comfort to you. There's going to be some resistance there. But on the other side of that resistance is complete control. And I always look at things in a form of like an analogy. Like I see stuff like mental pictures of things. So I'm thinking like, all right, every day when I step foot when I put my foot on the ground, there is a war, good versus evil, for my sanity for that day. Like, I take it to that extent. And whatever I feed the most throughout the day determines which one had the most impact on me for tomorrow. All right? So the decisions you make today aren't for today, it's for tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So if you are on this letter, you got all your dreams and goals, and the dream, see, I said it before, the hardest thing when it comes to accomplishing your greatness or manifesting your greatness to the world is never the dream or the goal. The hardest thing is convincing you. The dream and goal is your birthright. It's already waiting on you. You're not waiting on it. You see what I'm saying? It's waiting on you to step in it and then walk it out. That makes sense to you guys? So the whole point I'm making is whatever you want for yourself, your coaching business, physically, mentally, emotionally, your family, your kids, you know, meaning, and the kids, like, what kind of parent are you to your kids? Or what kind of husband are you to your wife? Or what kind of wife are you to your husband? You know, what kind of mother are you, what kind of daughter are you to your parents? When you shape that identity on that paper, you got to walk, your day-to-day decisions have to reflect that. You know, I love my husband unconditionally. There should be something about the day that represents you loving your husband unconditionally, or I'm loving unconditionally. Because if it's not, there's a conflict. I think once we get like really on point to what you really want, and all of it is a leap of faith, because like as a coach, for example, you're saying to yourself, you know, I want to accomplish XYZ as a coach, and physically in the physical realm right now, you're not doing it. So what you got to do is, what I love more than anything is you got to walk it out right now as if you already at that level as a coach. That's the part that's incredible. So I don't like to use top coach, guys, because to me, to say top coach puts a ceiling on your head. I feel like each coach should have their own goals and just leave it at that. You see what I'm saying? I don't like to say top coach because I think it formulates some kind of ego. Because what's the first thing one of the top coaches say? No disrespect to any of them, if they're a top coach, I'm top this, and this. That, yeah, I just don't like that. And so what I'm saying is, like, every coach should have their own goals financially as their team or whatever, but you should keep it abroad. Like, you should keep it. Don't put a ceiling on yourself by saying I'm top 10. Well, you know what? What does that mean? Like, why would you so after 11, you don't have any more value? You know what I'm saying? I mean, after 10, but what's the difference between 11 and 10? That's what I want to know. I don't understand it. So what I want you guys to get is, as a coach, for example, let's just handle that one first, since that's what everyone is. All your goals as a coach. What do you want, man? What do you want? You write those down. How big do you want your team? Okay, write that down. How much money do you really want to make? I'm just being honest. Write that down. Okay, so you say you want 6 figures, and you want your team to be XYZ big. All right, first thing you do in the morning, you get up, you go in your meditation, your gratitude, you just thanking God, you thanking the universe that your team is XYZ based off that paper. So glad that you gave me the creativity to have such a wonderful team, and my team is continuously growing. You ain't asking for nothing because you already got it. You thanking them that you already have it. Next step, after you get done meditating, praying, and being gratitude about what's already present, now you got to walk the duties out. If you are a coach with a big team, what is your day-to-day operations towards your team? Or do you get up in the morning, send your team a hello, and in your group, hey guys, want you to know I love you. It's Monday. Yes, let's attack this day. I want to make sure everybody is reading your affirmations today. Who are you? Remember, that's the most important thing, and your actions have to demonstrate who you are. You are literally leading your team. You're not even allowing somebody to wander off. Because when you're a leader, if you're a top, think about it. Michael Jordan, when he played for the Chicago Bulls, he led that team. LeBron James, he led it. That's why this guy's been to the championship for the last 7-8 years. He's a leader. So you got to be a leader. And what happens is, what you're doing is you developing more leaders. When you develop more leaders, their team grow, which means your revenue grows. So you got to take this in the spirit realm. Like, you got to really dominate this in the unseen realm if you want to see it in the physical. Because here's the deal. You're going to do it anyway. If you don't pay attention or be conscious of what you're doing, you're going to keep creating what you've been creating. I'm just telling you to be aware now. Does that make sense? I know that was a little deep. Did that make sense to you? But this is how I really believe, guys. I'm telling you, what other way can you do it? We create all the time. We just don't really realize it. We create ignorantly, or we create out of just not, and I'm not saying ignorant meaning dumb. I mean, ignorant means not knowing. We creating things and not even realizing, and then the stuff manifests, and we like, oh my gosh, I'm blaming this person. I'm blaming that person because you made my life this way. No, fool, you created that. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. And that was the biggest eye-opening thing for me, man. When I looked at my situation 2 years ago, even though it wasn't even my stuff, like, what in the world? Like, why was I even in that position anyway? I took it a step further. My son's mom and I, we got into a really bad fight 8 months prior to that, right? This is heavy. 8 months prior to that, got in a really bad fight, which forced her to move out and get her own place because I was being stubborn. if I would have never been stubborn, she would have never moved out. I wouldn't have put her in a position to be at that place, which means when those drugs showed up and this person put this other person, I'm not going to say the name, put in my son's mom name, she shouldn't have been in that apartment anyway. She shouldn't have been there. But because of my ignorance, because of my stubbornness, I forced her to go to a place she had no business going. So I started thinking, like, everything that came out of that apartment was bad. My son wasn't with me. She wasn't with me. And I got in trouble over some drugs that I had nothing to do with, but because it was in her name and I was there, I didn't want her to get in trouble because we didn't know nothing about it. So I said it was mine. So you see, I took it a step further. Like, if I would have never been an airhead or been the stubborn person that I can be, she would have never even been there, which means that package would have never even went there to begin with. Does that make sense to you? So I had to own that. So my whole point is I created that circumstance to happen because of my ways. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow. And so my point that I'm really trying to get you guys to understand is I'm just asking you to, like, please just try this. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm 150% for certain this works. All I'm asking you to do is get out of your head. Get out of your head off of anything you've ever been taught about faith and creation and your dreams and goals, and take a leap of faith and just try this. I'm telling you right now, it is impossible for you to not succeed, man. When you write this stuff down, every single area. And here's the cool thing. Even if the people around you don't treat you that way, that's not your problem. You have no control over that. I was telling a call yesterday. My son's 4 years old. I'm guiding him. I'm leading him. I don't have 100% control of this cat. And here's the reason why I say that. If he was to do something bad and I was to spank him, that was a decision he made. You see what I'm saying? But I have control over how I father him. But I don't have 100% control over him because he's going to make his decisions anyway. If he talks back to his mom, if I'm not here, you see how where I'm taking this? My point is the only thing you have control over is you. And you got to dominate your space. You got to dominate your home with love. Anything you want in your space, you got to dominate that. You got to set the tone. Because if you don't set the tone, life going to set the tone for you, and then you're going to have a situation. That's why we all get frustrated and deal with crap that we shouldn't be dealing with because we ain't taking control. So go back to that paper. Every single area, that's your focus. Every decision. If you want to be in the best shape of your life, what does that look like when you eat? Does this meal represent you being in the best shape of your life? Because you're going to be challenged. Starbucks Frappuccino, apple. You're going to be challenged, man. And that's what I'm talking about, being present. Right when you feel that desire to, we all become prisoners of our taste buds. It's just, I'm not asking you to be a rabbit. I'm asking you right now, for the next 90 days, I need you to focus on nothing but you doing the best, so that becomes your new psyche. So if you here and there, if you happen to eat a donut or eat something that you wouldn't normally eat, it ain't going to affect you. Whereas that might be, comfort food might be the dominant thought process when it comes to food. Does that make sense to you? I'm not asking you to walk around with celery sticks. That's crazy. No, don't do that. But I'm asking you to get dominion over your thoughts when it comes to that paper. And the only way you're going to do that is if you do that for a period of time. So every area, look at your coaching. If you're I'm not saying top, if you're a thriving, successful coach, what does that look like? Your day-to-day operations has to reflect that. All right. Parenting. I'm not going to say parenting. I'm going to say, your kids and your husband, what does that look like to you? That's your family. I'm gonna leave that up to you. Then you got to demonstrate that. Here's a crazy thing: an extra hug or an extra kiss will go a long way. An extra word of affirmation at night, even if something, if you look like, and most of you, I'm assuming, we're all great parents. But what if we just tuck our kids to bed at night, kiss them on the forehead, and said, you know what? You could be anything you want to be. And you've never said that to that kid at night. Boom. Now you walking in that whatever description you just put as a mother. Before your husband go to sleep at night, before your wife go to sleep at night, thank you for everything you've done for us today. We don't say that on a daily basis. That right there alone. I'm not asking you to go to Victoria's Secret and walk around the room no, I'm asking you to speak out of your mouth. Like say something to him. Like, men, fellas, let's be honest. Like, it's nothing like our women telling us, like, we're proud of you for how you take care of us. Like, to us, that's a lot. We don't hear that enough. We don't hear that enough at all. And even same thing, vice versa. Ladies, like, we got to talk to you. We got to let you know you're a nurturer. You are, we got to love on you a little better, even if it's with words. So we go there, all right? And then you go to, and there's another step to this that's so powerful. In your meditation, I thank you for all the new people that I came across today. All the new people I came across today and was able to brighten their day. You got to, like, because that's how you're going to draw people to you. You might go to Target. All of a sudden, you walk in the aisle with somebody, and all you do is smile at them. It might not have nothing to do with your team as a coach. Remember, you're evolving as a person. So you got to, once you put that confession down, you got to look for those opportunities out in the world, in the physical, because it's going to happen. Is this making sense to you guys? I'm telling you, once you apply this, you're not going to have any problems in your business because you have 100% control over it. All you need is one break. And here it is. Don't always look for the big break. Look for something, all the small stuff. The small stuff is actually the big stuff. You see what I'm saying? Every day, look for that victory. When you get the victory, celebrate that. Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care if somebody inquired about being a coach. You got to celebrate that like you just signed them up. You see what I'm saying? Surround your psyche, surround your words, surround your thoughts with gratitude. I'm telling you right now, you will never lack anything if gratitude is your foundation. I promise you. Does anybody have any questions? I know this is like so left field, but guys, I promise you, this is exactly what I did to be in this situation. And now what's so cool is I have new goals for 2018 that I love. And I have the confidence to know that, oh man, I'm excited to wake up tomorrow to like go over this. It's so cool, man. It's so cool. All right, so anybody have any questions? You want to unmute yourself? No? Don't make me start calling you out because I can read your eyes.
I have a question, Chris.
What's that?
I like it hits home when you talk about that kind of like blaming.
You just froze on me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She froze on me. Help me out, Sean.
Oh, you're right. She froze on you. I got nothing, brother.
Negative 40. That's what happens in Edmonton. I'm gonna be there next Sunday. Mid-move, just froze up somewhere.
She did freeze, yeah.
All right, she'll come back. Anyone else have a question? That's what y'all do, is freeze people in action. Uh-oh. Where'd she go? All right, anybody else have a question?
She'll kick back on. Guys, this is your chance. You know what? You guys have, it's a brand new year. This is your chance. It's not the time to be quiet. If you got the question, you guys got to have questions for sure. Don't be afraid to bring it up. This is your one-on-one time with Chris, so take advantage. You guys got to have questions out there.
Yeah, don't be afraid, guys. Ask away, man. You know what? I'm not even looking at this little box. I want to hear it out your mouth. Don't type it. I want to hear you talk to me.
I have a question.
What's that?
In the last couple of months, I've kind of fallen off the wagon, so to speak, I guess. I've been a coach for about 2 years, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into things and getting myself back on track. My question for you is, how do you do that? How do you create momentum and motivation for yourself, like just personally for you? Do you have any tips on how to do that, or you just have to want it bad enough?
You got to want it bad enough. And like, it all started from being like, you had that life moment, man, that you never want to experience again. You know, like, we've all seen the movie Forrest Gump. Like, I'm Forrest Gumping it right now. So it's like, I am like taking, and then, you know, just that one step I made to arrive in this place and all the amazing things that happened in 2017, why would I stop? because now I get to share this with the world. Like this philosophy that I've been thinking about for the last couple months, like, why do I want to see just where this thing will take me. I want to see just how far this can really take me, man. And so, yeah, I think it just comes from that place of like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's enough motivation in itself right there.
Absolutely.
And I know, and here's another thing that I would be honest with you about is the fact that tomorrow is just not promised. Like I feel so fortunate to be a Beachbody super trainer and to have access to thousands of coaches. Like to me is like, whoa, I gotta love on them. Like I gotta share this now. So yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is.
Perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
I have a question.
What's that?
For gratitude, I haven't done anything with gratitude journaling or meditation. How do you suggest we start with that? Like, it sounds like such a weird foreign thing, to start saying thank you for all that stuff. So how would I start?
Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that crazy? It does sound weird. Just because it's like, dude, you want me to talk about something I physically have, physically see? But it goes to the imagination. Like you're going to use your imagination anyway, whether you realize it or not. So I just think the gratitude is like, once you realize that you really create the good in the bad, whether you realize it or not, that's more motivation to just create what you want. And there's got to be something, when I do it, I close my eyes and I visualize exactly what's on that paper. And I see myself doing it. I'm smiling. I'm just thanking him for it because I'm connecting emotionally with it. And that's it. I just go to that place, man. That is it. You ready, Andrea? Is it just me or Andrea has 2 boxes?
Let's try this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I want to know, did you just duplicate yourself? Because I need to know how to do this.
Well, my internet on my laptop isn't working well, so I tried to log in on my phone. So I think I'm in 2 places now. So I'll try to come out.
Freak all of us out. Like,
okay, I think I'm just in one.
Andrea. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, I think I'm just solo now. Okay, sorry about that. My question is about, I guess some of you might have been asking about it, but about personal development in respect to that, like accepting responsibility for those things that you really instinctually want to blame on someone else. So like, well, I didn't really cause that, but if you think about it, that butterfly effect of like, well, if I had done this right or this right, and I see it every day in my own life with my kids, for example. So I give my youngest a cup without a lid, and then he spills the milk, and then I get mad at him where I should have given him a lid. Like that's a very simple example, but I can see how that translates to other things. Like, when you're failing at your nutrition or you do that fast food stop, and then you're mad at yourself because you're late because you didn't have time for someone else's fault. Well, had you prepared before, it would have been, So all those little things that really hits home to me, but I still find myself doing it. I'm catching myself more, but is there, a PD book or an audio or podcast or something that can just like really kind of help work on that or build on that? Because that's definitely something that I see in my life that is, I'm constantly blaming, trying to find an excuse.
You just said something that was so powerful. You just said that you're doing more of being aware of it. Like celebrate the fact that you're more aware today than you were last week. Like that's something you toot your horn about, because you're showing gratitude and just that little bit of change. And that's just going to open you up to be more observant. I keep telling people, man, like, I do personal development books in seasons. There's certain people I listen to in seasons, but like I'm in a season of I'm my own personal development book because there's so much I want right now to attain that I got to search my soul for this one. Like I can't go to Oprah. I can't go to Tony Robbins. I can't, because they're all so great and they all have, great advice. I don't want to get confused by any of their, the way they approach things. It's like, I'm in this place. They can't create this for me. I got to learn how to do this. Once I learn how to do this, I can go and listen to one of their personal developments to take it to an even higher level. But the groundbreaking stuff, I got to learn this myself. Like I got to learn how to own my identity, because they can't own, they own their identity. Am I right? So I think once we all get our foundation down, then personal development is way more powerful. That makes sense to you? But yeah, you're doing the right thing because you're aware. The key is being more aware. But I'm telling you, everything goes back to that paper, man. When you make a mistake, it's like a knife in your chest. Like, oh, I can't believe I said that. But if you think about it, 6 months ago, you'd have made that mistake and would never thought twice about it. That's victory. You just celebrated your mistake. You see what I'm saying? It's a win-win either way you look at it. That's powerful stuff, man.
Chris, have you ever thought about writing a book?
I am writing a book. It's called Living Out a Dream.
And it's coming out when?
Yeah, I don't know. I just started writing it, man. It's I'm writing it with another person. It's called Living Out a Dream.
I have a question.
What's that?
I struggle with self-doubt. Negative self-talk, big time, and I don't know how to overcome it. Personal development doesn't seem to help.
So, negative self-talk? Oh,
yes.
That's beautiful. No, it really is, because you just answered your own question. Negative, so basically, like you're talking negative to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, give me an example. Watch how powerful this is.
Well, when I hear, for instance, some of my challengers will say, you're a great coach, I will tell myself, I am not. I don't feel that I am. I don't feel that I'm helpful.
Right. So look. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know how to overcome it. Personal development doesn't seem to help me in that area. Right.
So we just answer Andrea's question. You at that groundbreaking, before you can listen to anybody, even anybody, we got to iron this out in you first. Because listen, what your coaches are seeing, they're seeing your greatness. They're seeing all your perfection. But you looking in the mirror, you seeing imperfection. See the conflict in that? So then we start peeling off the layers of the onion. You're going to start going back to times in your life that made you, that influenced this kind of talk, right? So what you do is you start peeling the layers. Maybe it's a childhood thing. Maybe it was a bad relationship thing. Maybe it was, some things you failed at and you just said, I suck, or blah, 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 blah. Go back to those situations, first and foremost, acknowledge it, thank it for being in your life. Yeah, crazy. Thank it. Yep, thank it for being in your life, because that means you acknowledge it. That means you owned it 100%. I'm going to tell you, here's one of the most powerful things I told to a group yesterday. I said, everything that's in your life right now that you feel has caused you pain, no matter what it is, right? I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. If it's 8 things, I want you to go to it. Abuse, I acknowledge you. I want to thank you for what you caused in my life. I acknowledge you. I own 100% because I allowed you to do this to me, because I wasn't aware of who I am. All right? You go to the next thing, molestation or whatever it may be. Acknowledge it. Then what you do after you acknowledge it, you just told yourself, I own it. Then you got 2 options. What's the 2 most things in the world that destroy this whole world? Water and fire. Go outside. Probably can't do it in Canada, do cold. You got a match. Set that bad boy on fire outside, that paper. You are killing it, right? Or flush it down the toilet. Once you flush that negativity or that root, either burn it or flush it down the toilet, it is gone. You have denounced it. You've announced it, acknowledging it, and then you denounced it, got rid of it. Soon as you do that, immediately go to that letter. Start filling your spirit, your soul with who you are. If you start speaking negatively about yourself, what happens is you're going to create a gap. All that stuff you denounce is going to come right back in, but even stronger. That makes sense? It's hard for us to go forward when we never went and dealt with the situation that made us this way. So one of the most powerful things I ever had to do is I was molested when I was a child, twice. 4 years old by a woman, 6 years old by a man. And I had the hardest time, I would never sleep with my shirt off. Like I was very insecure. Like they violated me, right? And so one day, man, I always had a little bit of resentment in my heart for this guy. Like I always said, if I ever saw him, I was going to beat him down when I got older. Because you did me wrong, man. So one day I'm at my aunt's house. Next door is this guy. Haven't seen the guy in 20 years. Still looks the same way, but he looks like a raisin because he's young. Because he looks old. And I'm this strong young guy, and I'm saying to myself, this is the moment I'm about to crack his skull. Like I'm about to just split him right now. But I had to tell myself, I've given this man 20 years of my conscious life having resentment in my heart. And I can never love my children the way I really want to love them if I'm holding on to this resentment for what this man did to me, how he violated me. I'll never, ever be able to have a successful relationship, marry, whatever, because of what he did to me. Because I got some anger and some evil in my heart towards this dude. So I got to handle this so that I got to forgive him for myself so that I don't create generational curses in my family, the way I treat my kids or how I love people. I'm going to tell you right now, if I would have never did what I did, I wouldn't be as effective as a super trainer as I am right now. I wouldn't be as motivating, as inspiring, as loving, and I wouldn't have as much passion. I walk right across the street, say, hey, man, come here, let me talk to you for a second. He was nervous. I'm a big, strong guy. He's nervous. So I went for a walk, and he just like, he's a little afraid. I said, first and foremost, man, I always felt like if I ever saw you again, I needed to be an encounter. Like I needed to talk to you. And I didn't even tell him that I really wanted to crack his face because it would have just freaked him out. But I had his attention. I said, what you did to me was wrong, and you know it, man. You know what you did to me was wrong. I said, but I want to forgive you for what you did for me, what you did to me. I said, I 100%, I forgive you for what you did for me, and I just pray and hope that you never do that to another child, man. I said, there's no beef between us. It's over with. I feel I'm redeemed. I'm restored. But I just want to let you know that there's no problems, and I want you to forgive yourself. And the dude cried, and he said, I'm sorry, Chris. He said, I'm really sorry. I said, that's all I wanted to say. I shook his hand, gave him a hug, walked away. Complete peace hit me when I left my aunt's house. Tears flew down my face. I realized at that moment, I did that for me and not for him. From that moment forward, I started seeing things differently, guys. I started having more compassion for people who were overweight, more compassion for people with insecurities and doubts and fears and worries, more compassion for people who had identity crisis or struggle with depression and feeling violated or not feeling like they had worth or value. Because when a person molests you, man, like that's just degrading. But I had to forgive him to get all of this that I got so that I can share all my passions with the world, man. That's what I did. So I said all that to say this. You got to go back to the root, man. If it's a phone call, after I did that, I start calling all the girls I ever cheated on and did stuff wrong to. I just want to call you and tell you I'm sorry. I'm serious, man. Everybody I did something wrong to for like my whole life, I just start calling them and apologizing to them. And so when I did that, man, I just got free and more free and more free. And the more free I got, the more I started realizing my love and compassion. That's why I feel like I'm able to reach each and every fitness level, each and every race, each and every person, because everything I've been through. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So go to the root, start forgiving people, man. Break that. Because if you don't, they're going to have control over you.
That's deep.
But see, here's the thing though. Like we're coaches. Like we have influence. There's no way I would have this kind of influence if I had resentment in my heart, man. There's no way. Yeah, it's a sacrifice.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Chris, I have a question.
Where you be?
Right here. So I have a question about coming from the heart. So in your last Zoom call, I asked you a question about I have rheumatoid arthritis and where do I find the self-motivation to do workouts? And you had talked about kind of finding your purpose and your why and really diving deep into that. So that really inspired me to that my purpose is going to be to inspire and motivate other people with rheumatoid arthritis as well as chronic illnesses. So from that point on, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a coach one day. I'm going to start doing this. And then you started talking about if you want something, you just have to start doing it. So I applied to be a discount coach, and then I kind of started an Instagram account, and I just started posting my struggles and my triumph, and also just started getting more followers. And then all of a sudden people started messaging me all the time and saying, oh my God, this is so awesome. Thank you so much. I started helping other people. So my kind of question is how am I going to know at what point should I start like actually being a coach? And how do I come from a place of heart as opposed to like a financial standpoint and just kind of like bugging people?
You already doing it. You're already a coach without signing up. You're already doing it. You got followers. Who they following? You're a leader. You have influence. You shared your story. It's relatable. You're already coaching. Again, it goes back to that identity thing. On that paper, who are you? You see what I'm saying? And leading from the heart, I don't ever chase money, people. I never chase money. I chase people. Like I run people down and I run them down with love. I run them down. I try my hardest to make my presence in people's life a safe place. I don't want nothing from you but for you to get a glimpse of your potential. That's the purest thing you can do. You guys have never seen me ever bait anybody to buy Shift Shop. I had a person come up to me and say, man, I really want to do your program, but I feel like XYZ, so you need to do T25. Huh? But I came to you because I want, no. You need to do T25 because that's what's going, that's with that. Because I'm not insecure. I'm not afraid. What am I afraid of? I'm not competing with anybody, but I got to do what's best for that person. You see what I'm saying? So my whole, what kind of coach do you want to be? Like that's you're already leading people. Identify that and continue to do what you're doing from your heart, because it's your heart that gravitated these people to you, because you're not selling anything. So while you're already leading with your heart, that's it. That makes sense. That's simple, yeah. Right? Man, that's powerful stuff. You guys doing this stuff, man. Just not aware that you're doing it. You're already doing this. All right. Anybody else? I got 18 more minutes. I'm telling you guys, my grandma, before she passed away, I was 12 years old. She used to speak to me in like parables. And I never understood what she was talking about until I got older. And she used to always tell me, she said, sweetheart, when you get older, you give from your heart. She said, first of all, don't ever tell anybody that your heart is broken. That's a lie. Your heart's a muscle. It can't be broken. She said, number one. She said, number two, she was like, you give of your talents. You give of your love. You give of your resources. You give of your time. That's how you serve the world. You give. But you don't ever, and I do mean ever, give somebody your sanity. Because if you give somebody your sanity, you might not get it back. That was one of the most powerful things in me. Because if you look at the world right now, there's a whole bunch of people. It's like bumping, like the little bumper cars that you just bumping into people, just bumping into each other because somebody else got their sanity. You see what I'm saying? And then they taking pills to try to get them focused when, come on, we don't need pills to get focused. You just need to know who you are. That's all the focus you need right there. How is taking a pill any more powerful with your focus than you saying, okay, this is my letter. This is who I am as a person. In my day-to-day physical realm, I'm making decisions. Does it reflect this? That's a hell of a focus to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you guys, we are, I'm looking at this page. I'm looking at all this greatness. Like, it's just full of greatness. We just don't even realize it. You just don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. And the moment you identify on that paper, because if it's not on the paper, it's just a thought. It's just an inspired thought. Once you put that on the paper, it's real. It's real. That's no different than doing a vision board. How many of you guys did vision boards? All right. So those vision boards, people, and they kind of fooled us. You put the vision board up, you see this, like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah. So then you go a step further. Like on my vision boards, I put there's magazines. I cut my face off and put it over the person's faces on it. There's, I went all out. Like I put my face on Tyler Perry's face, but I kept the suit, but I put my face over it. You know what I mean? Like different things. And like in my house, I put harmony and peace and love and patience and happiness and joy. And because I want to set the atmosphere. But what I do is I visualize myself doing that, even if it's for 30 seconds, and I smile at it. And that's no different. Before you put the vision board together, it was just a plain board, right? Where did it come from? Everything on that board came from within you. That's how powerful you are. Look, you understand what's inside of you? To me, that's just, it's just so powerful. All right, next question.
Okay, I was going to say something, and then I realized I was still on mute, and I was just talking, and nobody could hear me. So I've been coaching for about 8.5 months now, and my history stems from depression and anxiety, and I'm an emotional eater, and I still really struggle with that. And so I'm sort of in this point where, like, I love what I do. I have this passion for it. I will never stop doing what I do. But when it comes to helping people and teaching them about clean eating, there's like this little bit inside of me that's like, how can you teach these people when all you want to do is eat junk? Like, I legit could just eat cookies all day long and just toss the carrots. So there's sort of that part of me that's like, how do I break away from feeling like I can't teach these people how important clean eating is when, like, I'm not living that out too? And so I guess it's like two questions. Like, have you ever struggled with that type of eating where, I don't know, it's like a comfort for me. I just feel like eating sugar, like, just makes me feel good, even though really it doesn't. So there's just this, I don't know, messed up part in my head that, like, I want to be that example, but how do I teach them when I'm not being that example and still struggling myself with nutrition? And that's like a huge part of getting results. And yeah, hitting those things that we want to hit with our health and fitness. And I really struggle with that.
Wow, that's beautiful. I'm gonna tell you right now, the key to that whole situation is being 100% authentic to your people. That's it. 100% authentic. I would just have like throw a twist on it. Tonight's Zoom's call is going to be confessions. And because think about it, so many people wear masks, it's crazy. And then you start perfecting phoniness. When you start perfecting phoniness, you're in trouble. You can convince yourself that anything. So what you do is like, all right, confessions, and this is the best time to do it because it was the holidays. So what you do is this. You got to sneak your situation in there. And you go, all right, confessions with my team tonight. Okay, guys, listen. This is just us. We're on this call. Who ate like shit the last couple of weeks? You know what I'm saying? Everybody start waving. What did you eat? You're making people comfortable, right? You're making people comfortable. But really, you might have the real problem. And then you tell them at the end, say, guys, listen. At the end of the call, the reason why I said that is because I've been having a weak moment. And you guys just inspired me to keep going because you look up to me. You look up to me, and I'm over here struggling, but you don't know. But just the fact that you admitted to me that you're struggling, as your leader, I'm going to admit to you that I'm struggling. And what I'm going to do from this moment forward, because you guys just inspired me with the truth, is do what the best I can and live by example. I'm going to journal in our group every day what I eat. All right? Now you just put some pressure on yourself. Now you got their attention. And listen, and what you do is when you do that, a month later, have another confessions. And if it's another issue, put it in there. What they're going to respect more than anything is your honesty. Being authentic.
I love it.
You'll win more people over being authentic. And here's the crazy thing. Sometimes it ain't even a problem. It's a little, closet problem. But sometimes even if you announce it in that kind of way, all of a sudden, like you got this discipline because you don't want to announce that again. You know what I mean? I announced it once. I don't want to come back to this call and still say I ate 12 packs of this and that and this and that when I just did a month, because then at some point you're going to lose them. They're like, wait a minute, you're not getting better. So announce it and then correct it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's totally awesome. I love it. Thank you.
I need to put that in the book. Anybody else? No?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, wait for me. Wait, I might have to go to a different page. All right, let me go to another page. There you go.
Hi. I do have a question. It's about overcoming objections. And it's not through my warm market, it's through my husband. Like, he's not 100% supportive of the online social media part, but with working out he is. So, like, how do I help overcome this?
So when I first got announced, Dana struggled like badly. Yeah, all of a sudden, like, she got so mad. First of all, I think y'all broke my one phone because it ain't been the same since. I was for 2 months, every 4 seconds, I was getting a notification on all my social media, like either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, every 4 seconds. She started making me sleep with my phone under the bed, like put it under the bed. And so I started realizing how it was just making her uncomfortable from all the attention, right? So she started getting a little reserved, a little distant. And I smiled at it because I already knew what was going on. And what I did is, like, obviously right there, if I would have just said, forget her feelings, her emotions, how she feel, and just dug into what Beachbody, super trainer, my time, my moment, she would have had resentment towards everything that I'm doing right now. So what I did is, while I still embraced that moment and stayed relatable, I also gave her her time. And when I gave her her time, I wasn't the super trainer. I was Chris. And when I gave her her time, it was about her. You see what I'm saying? I encouraged her more. I'll always encourage her, but I encouraged her even more. I started doing, things that was out of my comfort zone for her. And then that just helped her relax a little bit. But I said it in times. Like, she knew there was times I had to be online. And when I wasn't, I shut it down. And it was just all about her. She respected that. Before you knew it, then she started coming to a couple of events. She started seeing, like, oh, this isn't so bad. Now she's 100% on board. So what I'm saying is, you got to love him even more now. Start telling him everything that he does right. Because when you're doing that, you're going to build up that insecure part that's in him. It's an insecurity. You're going to build that up because he's going to know that he's still your hero. He's going to know he's still your king. He needs to know that. Once a man knows that the woman knows that he's their king, we kind of back off a little bit. He doesn't have nothing to be afraid of. Most people resist things because it's a fear. What's fear? False evidence appearing real. He's creating something in his mind that's not even present. That makes sense? So now you just got to love him more unconditionally. Start building him up with words. What does he mean to you? What does he mean to your family? Start talking about all his glory days. Make him get a little half a smile. He'll give you a half a smile. And, like, start building him up. You'll see a complete change in him. And then what's even crazier, the times you have to go on it, say, honey, before I go do this, is there anything you need me to do? Oh, so now he knows you're putting him first before you go there. I'm telling you, you got to break him down like that, man. That should be on that paper, by the way. All right, 7 more minutes. Anything else? What you think, Sean?
I think she opened up a whole can of worms on that. Spouses not being supportive, bro. So I don't know. Maybe you can put that in your agenda. Maybe we can talk a little bit of that on stage on Sunday, because everybody just came out of the woodwork on that one.
Yeah, and you know what? Though, honestly, man, I look at it like it really isn't even difficult. It's just everybody's competing for space and priority, man. That's what it is. Like, come on, guys, my life change would appear to be overnight, but really I was already doing it, just not at this magnitude. So of course, there's tons of women, there's tons of more attention, more of this, and she's just like, okay, my family's going to get ruined now. But I had to, like, let her know, like, listen, this is our foundation. Like, this has to be, because I can't go be that if this ain't right. So, we got to come to some kind of agreement, because this is my purpose. Like, I have to do this. And if you just can't accept it, I have to let this go, because this is my purpose. Like, this is what I was created to do. She's created to do hair. She's a great hairstylist. In fact, I offered her the opportunity in June. You never have to work again. She was like, psst, I ain't staying here with you and CJ all day. She said, I'm going to work. She straight said, she's like, oh, no, I'll go to part-time, but I'm not going to be a housewife. She said, you guys will drive me nuts because him and I are so much alike. We just drive her nuts. She's got to make certain meals for me, certain meals for him, and that's just too much for her. So I'm not, I'm going to work part-time. So I took it a step further. I said, okay, here's the deal. You keep your job, but you don't have any more bills. Whatever you do with your money is your money. She said, what do you mean? I said, you don't have any bills. You spend your money as you spend, whatever you choose to do. And the more I did that, even though I'm still have more of my time here, I made her a priority. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes that's all they want. They just want to know that I'm still number one, right? Like, I'm still, is that, even though this is what feeds our family, like, and my place is still here. That's it. That's it. And a lot of times, guys, this happened in Punta Cana. Who went to Punta Cana? This is heavy. In Punta Cana, that's a good movie. Whatever we watching, whose movie is that? See, that's the problem. I don't have to do that. I'm joking. But anyway, in Punta Cana, there was this couple. This was powerful, guys. Her husband had never supported her Beachbody stuff, ever. In fact, they had seen a lawyer that week and was getting a divorce. They made a decision to get the divorce. The only reason why he even came to Punta Cana is because they had already bought the ticket. And they were done. He did his own thing. He didn't come to any workouts except for my last workout. He didn't come to any other workouts. The last workout, I pulled everybody together on the floor, and I was in the middle. And it was this issue right here, this topic that we just discussed right here. And I started talking about love them unconditionally, make them a priority, let them understand that this is your dream, this is your passion, this is going to make life better for both of you. But give them their time. Let them know where they stand in your life. It was 2 hours later, I had a knock on my door. How she found my room, I have no idea. Knock on the door. Can you come out in the hallway for a second? I said, yeah. I come out in the hallway. She said, I just want to personally thank you for restoring my marriage. I was like, whoa, what do you mean? She told me the story. She was like, my husband went back to the room and broke down. And she told me the story. I said, I didn't restore your marriage. Don't give me that much credit. I said, he just had an awakening. That's what it was. And she was like, he broke down. He told me that he hasn't been supportive. He owned it. And she just sent me, everybody doing this 2017 stuff, she just sent me a message saying, my family is the happiest we've ever been, Chris. And it was that moment, my husband came to the last workout, and he sent me I said, here's my phone number, give me a call. And I actually talked to him on the phone. He said, buddy, I look at my wife so differently. I just want to thank you for using your gift, man. I said, whoa, that's heavy stuff, man. So that was powerful. So at the end of the day, guys, it's love, man. It's love. Love breaks everything. Everything. Anything else? So Saturday, Sunday, this is what you can expect. You got any friends, anybody, this is going to be a celebration. Like, we're going to celebrate this new you. When we do this workout, I want you to bring the fit person. Even if physically you're not there yet, bring the psychological part of that fit person to this event. All right? This is going to be a great, great workout. We're going to do a lot of different stuff. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be emotional. And it's going to be, you guys are going to leave recharged and ready to dominate 2018. But it's got to start with that letter, man. I keep telling you, that letter is everything. Bring the person that's on that letter to the event. I promise you, if you do, you will have an eye-opening experience. You will never be the same. When you start getting training and getting that perspective from that new perspective, you'll never look back, guys. is better than anything you can ever imagine, man. All right? All right, guys, I appreciate you. I'm not telling you what the workout is. Just bring that fit person. It's going to be hard, I can tell you that. All right, guys. Anything else, Sean?
No, that's it, guys. If so, you do have VIP access, so make sure that you guys are there at 10:30 because I believe we are doing the photo op before everything starts, as well as the merchandise. You guys have first grabs at this new apparel that we're bringing in just for you guys. And Chris, we're excited, man. We're excited to have you here. Maybe I'll bring an extra jacket for you just in case it's cold.
Nah, man, all right. I'll be all right, man. I'm going to layer up.
There we
Who's
go.
gonna do some shopping? Look at, there's some fun stuff. Who's excited about the clothes?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. All right, guys. I will see you on Sunday. If anybody have any questions or any problems, go to my Instagram account. Send me a message in there. That Facebook, I gave up on. There's too many messages in there. I can't even manage it. But the Instagram, I'll respond in that. And if we need to talk, we'll talk. Okay? All right, guys. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.